Alright folks, hello and welcome to the fourth day of the Tuning Reclaimer Bootcamp. So, as far as the main deck goes, we're going to be trying out today is nothing new. I have actually been happy. The Tangled for Heliod actually came up multiple times. It feels like it kind of, the possibility to speed us up in matchups like against Tron and stuff like that did come up multiple times, so I did enjoy that a lot. We did call for it maybe like once or twice in yesterday's leagues, so it does come up. Like I have been liking this card. I will continue testing it. I don't think it's a mainstay just yet. Like Turn Timber has felt like a very solid inclusion. It's just a fine land to be playing. It's definitely a pretty good double-sided land to be having access to, but for the head one, it's a little bit more in the middle. I don't think anything else is particularly interesting besides, the double operation. This is probably like the only flex slot at this point. Maybe the Explorer can also be a flex slot, but everything else is pretty much. I'm very, very happy with this list. Besides those specific cards, the sideboard though, there's still a lot of work to do there. Number one, I feel like Tracker was very lackluster. I basically never really wanted to call for Tracker, and I felt like maybe Baloth is a card that I would be a little bit more interested in having access to. Particularly against the aggressive strategies like Burn and Prowess, obviously. Also, it has a pretty good use against the Shadow decks, obviously, or any kind of Scourge deck, really. So I made the switch Tracker for Baloth. We're gonna see how that works out. And then the Winds of Abandon versus Dismember split. In practice, it didn't actually work as well. I'm still willing to give it another shot, mostly because of the mirror. But it's possible that this should just be a Force of Vigor, which is interesting because like Force is very, very good in the mirror, and it allows us to kind of like break the play draw symmetry, because usually who is on if both players have a reasonable hand in the mirror, the one that's on the play is gonna win, because they are able to get Dryad plus Titan going faster, or Dryad plus Reclaimer, like Dryad plus Valakut basically, which is the most important thing in the mirror. So maybe this should just be a Force. And also the issue is that Dismember, the whole point of this card was to get rid of Mind Sensor, and this is probably like the best tool for the job, particularly against the mirror specifically, but also against Death and Taxes. So definitely some trying out cards and stuff to be doing. I definitely wanted to go back to another Winds, because Winds is significantly better against the Shadow decks, against all of the Scourge decks and Tarmogoyf decks. Winds of Abandon is so much better than Dismember, because Goyf so easily outgrows Dismember because of the Dryads and Mishra's Bubbles and stuff. Goyfs are very, very, very commonly 5/6s or even 6/7s. So another Purge would also be an interesting inclusion. The problem is that Purge doesn't answer any of the cards that I named a second ago in Dryad, Mind Sensor, Arbiter, etc. Dumping Sphere was okay. Dumping Sphere actually proved its worth yesterday. We got paired against Tron like 3 or 4 times or something like that, and a lot of those games were won on the back of Dumping Sphere. So I like that for sure. Extended Art Turn Timber came today, so ready to play Draft tomorrow. Nice subbies. Nice Extended Art Turn Timber. I was considering buying the Extended Art Turn Timbers, but they were like twice the price of the regular ones. And I'm like, yeah, that's like the difference between regular art operation versus a full art operation was like $350 for the regular art, and the full arts were $5 when I bought them. I don't know how much they are right now, but when I bought my playset, they were like $5. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, like $1.50 is fine. I'll get the fancier art, but when one is 8 and the other one is like 16 or something like that, it's just like, yeah, that's just not worth it. Paying twice the price of a $1.50 card is not the same thing as paying twice the price of a $10 card. All right. Let's ship this. Let's keep this. I think in the blind, I'm just gonna bottom the path. Because even if the Reclaimer dies, Florahedron allows me to have a turn 2 play. Unless I'm playing against a Lava Dart deck, in which case I'm just gonna play the Florahedron on turn 2. Is this the mirror? Might be the mirror. Let's play these and go. Actually, if I play Florahedron now, turn 3 I'm gonna have access to 4 mana. And I can go find Castle to Titan. But I guess it's the same thing. If I sack this to go get Flagstones, then I sack the Flagstones. If I'm assuming that my Reclaimer is not gonna die, we are still in the safe spot. So yeah, I guess I'm shipping. Because next turn I can play Valakut tapped and go get... So this can be a mirror, or this can be Heliod, maybe? Or Druid, something like that. We're probably gonna see about it right now. 15 euros for my copies, I was happy to pay the difference. Okay. Oreo Champion. So this is the Heliod deck. Would be very, very excited about finding a Dryad off the top here. Dryad? No Dryad. This is Heliod. Spike Feeder. Let's get Scatter Groves and... I'm gonna get a Castle. If we find a Dryad, which we don't, we get to Titan here. But if my opponent just has the infinite life combo, that kind of sucks. Hans, you think about the follow? Let's get Flagstones and Field. I don't think Field does too much, honestly. I kind of want to get another Valakut and allow myself to draw a Dryad. Thanks for the reclaimed content. You're very welcome. There's Heliod. Oh, Company. Company into Heliod? Company into Whiff. Okay. Try it. Heliodammer Skull. Heliodammer Skull. Dope. Awesome. Alright, so this card is great against Heliod, obviously. Wins seems okay. Generous Gift seems medium, but I'll play it. I'm trying to think, what does Mind Sensor stop? And I don't think it stops anything of relevance. Mind Sensor stops just Ranger Captain and like fetch lands and stuff. That doesn't seem pretty good. How's your Hedon so far? Actually, it has been pretty solid. I have been digging it. I have been liking it a lot. I don't think I want to cut my ramp, so I guess no, I don't want to cut this either. We can cut a land, go down to 32 lands, just cut Ghost Quarter. I'd rather hold on to Blast Zone because of Arbor Elf and Utopia Sprawl. Why did I cut Cavern? Because Cavern is an untapped resource. Like for example, with this hand, the Cavern allows me to cast my cards. In fact, this is probably a keep because the Cavern is a proxy colored source. Should I play Reclaimer Fluxus over Classic Titan? I mean, it's what I'm doing. That's all I can really tell you. You do whatever you want, but I am planning on playing this deck in the weekend showcases. And note that I said weekend showcases, plural. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you don't need to follow me on Twitter to check this out. Do you think this is better? Saying the word better, I don't think does you any favors. I like it better. I think it's pretty good. And I've been happy with the results I've been getting with it. Will write any for the subscriber Discord about the new version of the deck? I assume you mean sideboard guide, and the answer probably is yes. I'm not 100% sure because I don't know what my scale is gonna be looking like, but I'm trying to aim for that. I am trying to aim for. I want to save this fetch land so we can get more triggers with Dryad, so I'm just gonna play Fluxlands here. I'm trying to aim for getting some content out. Maybe Collected Company here? Sounds like it. Heliod Suncrowned. That's getting apparitioned. That is getting hella apparitioned there. Just gonna name Spirit here. They're gonna get to gain a life. That's okay. Oh, this resolves first? Oh, that's awesome. Oh no, it doesn't. Wait, what? Why was that on the stack first then? Okay, so they're gonna get a counter on one of their dudes. It's probably fine. They're still not gonna be attacking, very likely. Apparition's so good. Apparition, my apparition. Spider-Man meme. Do get a 3/3. This Dryad's probably going to be solid. My opponent used an apparition on a Dryad. They have to have another one, right? These beatdowns are not getting scary just yet. These beatdowns are not getting scary just yet, but if they have another apparition here, the beatdowns might actually get a little bit scary. No Path to Exile is big. And if we untap, we are just winning because we're just going to slam this Titan. Faster than the sun. Pendelhaven. It's a card. The Dryad survives, which... Yeah, I think that we just win if the Dryad survives. In fact, I don't think I'm blocking. I'm not blocking because of Walking Ballista. You see? You see, chat? You see, chat? If I were my opponent, I would have attacked with everything. I would have attacked with all 3 cards. So they're just tapped out. If we draw it, we don't even need to draw a Titan. We just win. It's a lot better. It's a lot better than if we draw Titan. We win. We already have the Titan. We don't even need to draw anything. We just win. It's great. Whee! Triggers! Yay! Always yes, always yes, always yes, always yield. Easy 2-0 victory. My opponent whiffed a little bit, but I interacted with my opponent in both games, so you really see like the possibilities that this deck has over Amulet against a deck like that one. Usually, when you're playing Amulet and you get paired against the Heliod deck, you just roll over and die, and that's just not at all what happened right there. Right, we were able to like apparition their stuff. We had a bunch of draws towards like Path to Exile, towards Winds of Abandon, Dismember. We're drawing towards a lot of different cards. While when you're playing Amulet, you really are not. You're just drawing towards hoping that your draw is fast enough. So this is a turn 2/3/3 Reclaimer. So even though we don't have Splinter Twin, it's pretty solid. For the most of 5. Maybe Tron, maybe something like that. This deck is much better suited against most creature decks. Yeah, you're also more consistent at doing the Dryad thing. What Amulet does have though, which I think it's a big deal, is that once you resolve the Titan goes and gets the Dryad. So in terms of being able to chain, that's Amulet's strength right there. You know, the fact that it can actually chain a lot better. Just gonna pass. If this is like the Eldrazi Stompy deck, I don't think my opponent can realistically beat. It could be just Tron, in which case I also don't think that my opponent's okay. It's Tron. Just gonna get another Snow Forest here. Just gonna sack, get Flagstones. I think we play second Reclaimer and say go. This is better against Thoughtnuts here. I could Spring Bloom to try to set up Titan mana next turn, but I think this is better. Opponent with the weird art of Ursa Mines. How's it going, Yevka? But like, if my opponent plays a Thoughtnut here, we don't care. Like, they take my Titan, whatever. I'm just winning on the ground right now. Like, my opponent doesn't have good attacks. We also have Path to Exile in case we need it, although we're not going to use it. We have active field next turn. If we draw any land. Just Flagstones for Flagstones. We get to do that twice next turn. Sacred Foundry, get field. And we can bounce the Sanctuary itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The thing is that I kind of don't want to, because I want to make sure that next turn we can do a bunch of things. So I think I'm going to bounce the Scatter Grove so I can potentially cycle it. No main deck changes. No, I actually been happy with the main deck. Even if my opponent plays a card here, doesn't do too much. If they play a Smasher, doesn't also do much either. I don't think I want to take the 3 point of damage though. Chalice of the Void has been revealed. Field there gets a bad. Does this deck still make competitive? No, it doesn't. Play the Chalice on 0. Sure. It counters literally nothing. They have Tech Edge, but that means that they need to destroy their own land, which I'm okay with. Chalice on 1 also doesn't do anything. My 1s are already winning the game. If you're gonna take it, you have to take it right now. Yep. Not a big deal at all. The Suba. I guess we can't really do everything that we want to do, so let's just play the Scattered Groves. Hold on to this Isua, that's going to copy field. And I'm going to, I guess, just pass. Again, they destroyed their own land last turn, so yeah, you have a Karn. I think we're still fine, and we have a bunch of draws that just win the game. So my opponent kind of wasted a Chalice. Like, Chalice on 2 would have been a lot more powerful than this Chalice on 1. Kind of doesn't do too much right now. And I don't think I have much problem in like suiciding one of these Reclaimers towards the Karn. If we draw Titan, that's good. If we draw, we can also draw Can get Blast on an Aptic, that's kind of cute. It's a lot of mana to Blast on an Aptic. But we're not afraid of any of their lands. And if we draw a Dryad, we just win, so I guess I'm just gonna get Valakut. If we attack with everything, we could just kill the card and my opponent got no value from it. Oh. Right. We can just draw that one, huh? Ah. Right, we can also draw that one, huh? You're at 20? 20, what an interesting life total. So this is 12, this is 6 plus 9, that's 15, plus some attacks, that's lethal. Don't care for Damping Sphere. Maybe care for Winds of Abandon. Maybe care for Baloth. It's like I like Dismember better than Path. Let's try this. Maybe Baloth. Let's try this. Hey Scott, happy Thursday. Bounce Turn Timber, do you have used it? No, but I didn't have Turn Timber. Like, you cannot go fetch Turn Timber, right? We can do better than this. This is kind of better than that. Opponent moves to 5. Thought it was on the battlefield. No, it was Florahedron. Versus Tower. So we're gonna be facing turn 3 Tron. This is the matchup. The matches that we lose with this deck are this: turn 3 Tron into Karn. That is how I find myself losing this matchup. Under normal circumstances, we don't, and my opponent doesn't have it, so I think that we're gonna be pretty fine here. We can play Florahedron as a land, or we can play it as a spell. Because I have this double Dryad, I think I want to play it as a land. And I want to play it right now so my opponent doesn't Thought Knot it away. They're going to Thought Knot it at prime time anyway, but... Also, if they go get an Eldrazi Temple, that means that they're not going to... Yeah, they're not going to have Tron anytime soon. So turn 3 Thought Knot is good for them. It's good for them. They're probably going to take the prime time. With double Dryad, I'm not too worried. We can draw a Reclaimer, which wins the game, basically, unless my opponent has something very good. We can draw another Titan, and then any land. Castle Garenbrig. They can go kill this with a Dismember into another Thought Knot, maybe. That could be problematic. Definitely taking 4 here, though. Last zone. Heh! 1, 2. I'm not gonna be blocking, so I'm just gonna attack. They don't have another Thought Knot because that would have been a good turn to play it, and before they knew about the Blast Zone. So I think I'm not gonna expose this Dryad to that. On the other hand, playing the second Dryad kind of double time walks my opponent. Yeah, I guess that would have been better. Because playing the second Dryad, what it does, it kind of double time walks them, in that they need to spend that turn bringing up the counters. They need to spend the next turn bringing up the counters. Heliod Skull, Reclaimer. All of those cards would have been great. Moto not putting the Tron lands in order. Yeah, Moto will do whatever it wants. They didn't uptick Blast Zone. They can't really play a Thought Knot at this point because I'm just threatening to blow them both up. Completely off of Tracker. Yeah, Tracker just didn't really make too much sense, unfortunately. Like, it just didn't do anything. I think I'm taking 4 here. We go down to 4, which isn't the most exciting thing, but we still don't die to a Ballista unless my opponent has the last Tron piece. And we basically time walk my opponent once more, where they cannot. Okay, I might just die now. Yep. I just want to know what I would have drawn. Please tell House to speak more clearly on Titan Talks. I can barely understand a word he says. You can tell him. You can contact him on my Discord. We're always very excited to hear feedback. So yeah, but please actually say that on the Discord and like tag him and stuff. We're always very excited to hear feedback from you folks. It means that you're listening, right? Yeah, we're just gonna ship this. A lot better. Woo! Turn Timber, let's go. Keep this probably bottom Vesuva. Turn Timber, let's go. ¿Por qué quitas los paths? Porque nunca morís por las criaturas, siempre morís por el... Siempre morís por el Karn. Así que prefiero tener respuestas para Karn. Además, Path es muy malo contra Chalice. Play this, we shock, and tap green on 1. Let's go. Seconded. Alright. So I guess that a lot of folks think the same way. Good to know. Please don't spike the cost of this deck. I'll do my best, Rock Stacker Stan. I'll do my best. Okay, so now this time they do have a turn 3 Tron. Okay, they don't have turn 3 Tron. We can blow up their expedition map if we wanted to. That might be a little bit too cute. I think I'm just gonna get Ghost Squatter just in case. Turn 2 Flagstone, scary their turn 3 Tron, kind of, right? If they just had the Natty Tron, like that's life, I guess. But we can. They just had the Natty Tron. All right. Yeah, because constructive criticism is great. Very, very appreciated. Nobody takes it personally. Fuck, man. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. Like, this is what we lose to. This is what we lose to. Like, as you can see, we wouldn't care too much about what's his name, but this is a big deal. And now that my Reclaimer's gone, can we even keep up with this? Probably not. I could have was quarter myself, but then my opponent just goes and finds the missing piece anyway, so I just had to hope that they didn't have exactly turn 3 Tron into Baby Karn. We can't beat that. I mean, we can find Dryad here. If we find Dryad, we actually win, because we can just kill the Karn. Unfortunately, it cannot be Cole. It has to be Dryad, the Natty Dryad. Don't want to expose the castle. Six mana, so a huge ballista, I guess. 8 mana. It's a lot of mana. Yep. Yep. My experience is that this matchup is very favorable unless they hit like the very high end of their draws. Or like what happened last turn, right? Like last game, sorry, we spent like 4 turns or 5 turns where we just drew go over and over again, and we had like maybe 18 draw steps that would have won us the game, but we just always whiffed. Here my opponent just had the nuts, and we just didn't have enough to keep up. But yeah, turn 3 Tron into Karn is very tough for us to beat, obviously. Evening friend, day 4 of testing time. I love the deck from day to day more and more. Nice, Torben Fosh. Yeah, same here. Same here. Definitely excited with how it's coming together. Ha! Joke's on you, opponent. That grows my Reclaimer. Got him. Smasher. So I guess Dryad doesn't stabilize anymore, which sucks. But it's okay. Totally forgot that I didn't have Forest. I don't think it matters though. I don't think it matters. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, shit, that might be too much damage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's gonna be too much. I'm gonna have to path to wince the Thought Knot. Hopefully they don't have another Smasher. Whatever they target with decoding. And if they go for decoding, that means that they don't go for the Ugh, this is rough. They don't go for getting the other guy, the big dude. What's the name of the big dude? Yeah, they can find a ballista. Ugh. They just had it all. They just had it. They just had absolutely everything. God damn it. So if we find the land, we can call for Dryad and we can kill this. Yeah, we were not winning that game ever. Call has me feeling a lot better than Pact. It's possible. What's this deck? Whoa. Hey Dynaman, welcome to the stream. Because if you don't know what this deck is, it's because you're new to the stream, so welcome. And yeah, this is a deck that actually has been putting up a decent amount of results lately. I think I'm gonna keep this hand actually. We can turn 2 call for Titan, turn 3 Dryad, and then if we draw any land, we can set up a turn 4 Titan with Dryad, which should be close to lethal. I wanna play Amulet again soon. Yeah, next week. This is still very much an Amulet stream, but... So, I've been running into insane amounts of Tron. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, kind of unreasonable amounts of Tron. I have no idea why people are still playing this deck. I guess it does have a good Reclaimer matchup. I'll tell I won't deny that, but... Tron is nice, guys, and Big Dudes is fun. I mean, it's honestly like the most boring deck that I can think of. To me, at least. But, you know, clearly people enjoy it. What is the main reason Amulet is good against Tron and Reclaimer is bad? Well, one of them is a lot faster than the other one. That's the main reason, really. Okay, so this is Mono Green Tron, even though they're playing Baby Karn. So if we draw Valakut, we're gonna be in really good shape. Valakut, Flagstones. Pretty unfortunate that we cannot do literally anything at all with our turn here. I'm gonna be able to blow up one of my lands, but they need something to stop me from tightening next turn. People want to use their cracked Karn. Yeah, it's possible. I think there might be space for one pact in the main deck. It's actually like a 5th Dryad or a 5th Giant, I guess. Terrible on the first Justice, but then you could draw potentially. Yeah, Xidor. I tried it. Yeah, I didn't like it, but yeah, you can do that for sure. Udo Omnath is the worst deck I can imagine. Yeah, well, then we have very, very different tastes in playstyles, I'll tell you that. We have very, very different tastes in playstyles. Which is fine. That's one of the beauties of Magic, right? People can have such diverse preferences. I think Turn Timber is in some respect. I think Turn Timber is better than some respects, but yeah, I guess it's kind of like the similar approach. The similarly... the similar card, I guess. So this is not lethal. Never mind, this is lethal. Unless my opponent has a Dismember for the Dryad. We got very lucky that my opponent did not have a Karn Liberator, right? Like that is the big deal. That is the big one against us. A Karn Liberated is really hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat. I've been struggling with leaving a couple of answers to resolve Ulamog. feel like I'd rather do this. Even Apparition just straight up answers Karn, so it is pretty exciting to me. I guess I'm just gonna leave it as a 2-draw target. Mind Sensor is just weird. Mind Sensor is just weird. It has some games where it's absolutely incredible, and it also has some games where it's just like, what? Why? Just why? On the draw particularly, it's a lot less exciting. We have Generous Gift, which is a great card. If we could Reclaimer, I think I'm gonna keep it, and it might not work out for us. Looking like it might not work out, huh? Gonna play Castle, because if we find an untap land, we can actually play Florahedron on 2. Turn 3 Tron. The one they search for is Tower. We're not doing good. I don't want to say that we're doing good here, but if they don't have something too powerful, wait, what? They have no threat? Okay. So we can play Reclaimer. And we can turn Timber, upkeep, blow up one of their lands. They didn't search for either one of these, so I'm just gonna go after the mine, and they're totally gonna have a second mine, but there's nothing I can do about it. How was your Hadron beat? I mean, you just saw like that small little boost in mana. It's kind of a big deal. They still have Tron next turn, but they should have played the tower, by the way. That's a slight mistake from my opponent, because now if I find the Ghost Quarter, I can just Ghost Quarter their mind. 2, 3. So we can Titan here. Wow, Florahedron, insane, so good. Field of the Dead, Ghost Quarter. Florahedron doing insane work right now. Isn't that generally the same effect as Steve? It's a land drop that you can tutor for, which is why in some scenarios it might be better. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just need the land to trigger Dryad and stuff like that, you know? So Florahedron does that. Yeah, 4 cards in hand. we just call for ramming up here, right? Call, ramming up, go squatter them, replay. Oh, we just Knight of Autumn, right? Knight of Autumn kills the Karn. We don't have white mana. Well, I guess we can't do that, huh? I'm suiciding the Elvish Reclaimer just so I can get this Karn down to 2. That means that it cannot minus and survive. So if they want to minus to get a Tormod script or something else, they have to... How often have you gained life with Knight of Autumn? It comes up against the mono red decks more than anything. Elephant should be white to make sense. Yeah, it's kind of weird that the elephant is green. They have to stop the ramming up engine though, because they're gonna lose to it. Maybe... Actually, maybe just killing the Reclaimer was a bad play. Like, we achieved what we wanted, but maybe, like, the cost was too high. Titan can attack now. That's funny. Ponycast Timur Battle Rage and Bomat Courier. That's hot. I would kind of like to draw a fetch land. I'm not gonna play the second land because my opponent might... They might play a Planeswalker that I want to kill. And dealing 3 damage to them doesn't achieve anything. Of course, they have the missing Tron piece. That's what they do. Could I play it? I could have played another Dryad, but I don't want to die to Oblivion Stone. I just have a Lamog. All right. It might have been that it was greedy of me to... Oh, now we draw the Sanctuary. Damn it. I'm gonna start making zombies. Maybe I can get around this Ensnare Bridge. This did work. Yeah, they can't attack, but they don't need to attack. They have Karn liberated and shit, right? Which I don't. Declined to search with Sanctum of Ugin. They declined to search with Sanctum of Ugin. The funny thing is that we're not that far away from winning here. As terrible as this looks, we can still just... We can still just draw an answer to the bridge, and now the Titan can attack. Oh, they didn't crack Sanctum because I guess they didn't want to have more cards in their hand. Beginning to feel like Ghost Court is a waste of a slot? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because they are... it's really important to like gain time against Green Tron, and there's like this Ghost Quarter ramming up is a real threat, and there's also the fact that in the mirror and stuff you want to destroy your opponent's Valakuts and shit. So well, I guess now answering the bridge doesn't do much. We can kill the Karn. Unsure how much that does for me. Now they have the fucking Elf Stone. So blowing up the bridge doesn't really achieve too much. This is 5. Can call for another Titan. They block here, this takes 10. We get to play around this member. We can also just keep this and just send all the Sombos. I think I like that better. I don't want to send the mana door because this gives me mana to call for a Titan and play it. In case my opponent cracks here. If they crack the O-Stone. Oh, that's true, I have Castle. I think we just pass. So that blows up the bridge. Now the Ulamog can serve. Yeah, Ulamog is indestructible, so O-Stone doesn't affect it. Do we have answers to Ulamog? We have one path to exile. Is this... well, we have the Titan already. We need to draw a path to exile to deal with this. Okay, Valak is still in the deck. So if we top deck exactly Dryad, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we top deck exactly Dryad and my opponent has nothing left, we don't have Celestia Sanctuary, so we can't trigger a bunch, but... yeah, we still don't have lethal. Still no lethal. Feels bad, man. We also have exactly one Dryad left. And the one path to exile. Second field is gone. And another Ulamog attack kills us. There is 2 Valakas in the deck, yeah. But one is gone. I guess we can just F6 here. I guess reclaim a list feel good. Yep. I've been having good results against Delver decks and Snow decks. Those have felt like very good matchups. And Lance is very interesting. Why did I cut Cavern, by the way? Because the mana can't really support it. Cavern doesn't help pay for Green Sun Zenith, and you have to... it's the same reason as why you don't play Cavern in this list. Well, you only play one cavern. Snow has been difficult. Weird. I think I have beaten Snow every single time I played against it. Let's go to game 3. 1x against Snow, and that's because they scooped the match. Maybe it's just for my experience. It could be. I have played a lot of Snow, so I know how to poke holes in that deck. Let's just cut the path and add the other apparition. If we had had access to another apparition, it would have been a little bit more likely for us to win that game. Hey, Plasma Gus. Plasma Guy, whoever you are. Seems like a fine hand. Might stream it tomorrow since I'm playing in Mana Traders. I'm gonna play it in the NCD Open. Sick. Let's go. I'm seriously considering about playing it in the showcase this weekend. So we're definitely going to turn 1 Reclaimer. Now the question on turn 2 is going to be very interesting. We're probably going to explore into tapped Florahedron. Opponent kept 7. It's messed up. So maybe to consider playing depths in like half 1-2 stages. You can do whatever you want, House. I can only tell you what I have done and why I have done it. That's basically all I can really do. So we have a couple of options here. I can spend this turn, explore into Florahedron. Just attack with Reclaimer, whatever. Or I can spend this turn getting Flagstones. If I get Flagstones this turn, next turn I can... If I draw an untap land, I can explore into activate Reclaimer, get Flagstones, which should allow me to get pretty far ahead on mana. The problem is if I whiff on a land drop, it's kind of pretty bad for me. I think I'm going to play Cavern on Giant, whatever. This is what I'm going to be sacrificing, and I just say go. But yeah, House, I mean, I am the only person that I know of that has ever played that deck, right? So, okay, so this is best case scenario because this means that I'm going to get to do everything I wanted to do, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I have only my experience. Like, I have only my testing to go off of. And my testing has been that the mana kind of sucks, which was expected, kind of, right? Because that is also the case with this list. So I can play a tapped Florahedron here, or I can play a tapped Field. We sack, we go get Ghost Squatter. Then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can Ghost Squatter them, spend a turn to call and explore. Or I guess we can activate Reclaimer again. Yeah, I kind of like that. And we can go get Raminap. We could Titan 4. Yeah, I guess Titan on 4 is just better. It just puts me a little bit more ahead on mana. And then it forces my opponent to do something. The problem is if they have exactly Ugin. I guess Oblivion Stone would be even worse. Okay, we know they have big Karn. Which means that if we Titan, my opponent's gonna get to resolve Karn. Which I'm not really excited about, but... yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Ghost Quarter. We explore. Play this. Play this. Or we can go fetch Vesuva to copy our Ghost Quarter. Instead of calling. If we go fetch Vesuva, we can double Ghost Quarter them next turn, which seems pretty solid. So we play this, we go get Vesuva, we Vesuva Ghost Quarter, we kill their land. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana next turn, so we can call and play Remina on the same turn. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's blow up this. Suva Ghost Quarter. So this means that we don't get to Titan, but it also means that my opponent doesn't get to Karn, which seems even more important to me. Oblivion Stone. For map. Okay, now what? I can call for Dryad. We can just Titan. If we just Titan, it forces my opponent to crack O-Stone. So their turn is going to be to crack O-Stone. Their turn is going to be to crack O-Stone because it's kind of a forced turn, really. Then we get to untap and we have a ton of mana. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Definitely want to get Valakut going. And Castle? We can also just get Blackstones. Get Blast Zone? What for? Blast Zone's not blowing anything up. Here comes Expedition Map. They're going to have 5 mana. But if they do that, I get 1 more Reclaimer activation. So they have to kind of activate right now, which is what I want them to do. Yeah. One, two, three, four, 5. I don't think I can beat the Mog. That's the problem. This game has been super interesting. Yeah, Dryad is not lethal here. Wait. We go get Dryad. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15 damage. So I can force my opponent to have exactly Oblivion Stone again. I guess Dryad is the best one, huh? The only problem with Dryad is if my opponent has Baby Karn into the... No, it still doesn't do it. We still get a ton of zombies. Okay, let's go for Dryad. Mostly because we have double field. So this basically forces my opponent to have exactly Secondo Stone. I'm going to do 9 and then I'm going to see what my opponent does. And then we'll take it from there. How did we miss lethal? Assyrian Dreams. Fetch plus go score to your Flagstones. I recommend you do the math. I play your land from hand. I played all the lands that I could, my friend. I cannot play this land. So they -3. I fetch, get a land. My opponent is at 11. So this is 2 zombies plus 2 zombies plus 2 zombies. So that's 6 zombies. So this should be lethal. Unless I fucked something up. I have to make sure to get all differently named. So this is go Squatter, get a Plains. And this is Flagstones. Get another Plains. Attack for 12. All right. Close. That was a close one. That was a really, really close one. Splinter Twin, let's go. This is how we win this matchup. Our opponent keeps a hand that goes turn 1, cycle crush through. That is exactly what we want to see. Yep. I think I'm gonna play Flagstones because this allows me to get value from ramming up next turn without having to fetch and deal damage to myself. I guess we're just gonna apparition this now. I imagine we're gonna get light up the stage here. No. Okay. I'm into this. I wonder what's in their hand. Turn 4, you're at 18 against this deck. Yeah, exactly. It's turn 5 and we're at 18 and my opponent has no creatures in play. I mean, I would love to find something to do with all of this mana that I have. That would be great. Okay, here comes the light of the stage. Copy Fiery Islet. It's pretty hot, actually. If they don't crack, I'm probably gonna do that. Also, we can... Ha! 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 I guess they really want to cast that Reveler. Makes sense. Okay, 4/5 ramming up. Let's go. We just go for Titan here, right? We can play Apparition just as a blocker to prevent the most amount of damage. I feel like I want to fetch for a basic forest in case they have main deck Blood Moon. That's the only thing. I could have copied their Fiery Islet. The problem with that is that I would be taking damage next turn, which I'm not particularly excited about. Yeah, I think that if the potential of soaking up 2 damage is higher, like if we once we resolve Titan, that's it, right? Like my opponent's not gonna be able to win anymore. Unless they have main deck Blood Moon. Oh, I guess yeah, maybe because of main deck Blood Moon, I should have kept the apparition in hand. Oof, yes, actually, yeah. The more that I think about it, the more that I regret my play now. Yeah, I guess I should have held on to the apparition. Champerino. Well, we're here now. It's game on. They don't have Blood Moon probably. I don't know. Emayashi has been playing all sorts of nonsense in their main deck, so. The thing is, that's the literal only way that I can lose, right, at this point. Because Primetime just stabilizes through everything. Just gonna get double field. I'm at 14. I don't think my opponent's gonna be able to burn me out. Attacking is irrelevant, right? I think attacking is irrelevant. I think attacking is irrelevant, so I'm not gonna attack. I'm just gonna pass. If we don't die, like, we're just going to be able to set up lethal. Good for me that they cycled 2 crash throughs earlier in the game. They're probably going to have another one, but hopefully we have enough bodies to get through this. What type of musician? What type of musician am I, you mean? I'm a drummer, if that's what you're asking. Says prefer musician on my bio. Yeah. Yep. I am a drummer. What type of music? Well, to pay the bills, I play usually like pop, stuff like that. Pop, rock, top 40, whatnot. I do studio work? Yeah, I do. The problem with this play is that it's not getting my opponent anywhere. Like now they just literally don't have enough cards in their deck to to like look at how much damage they wasted. They're not gonna be able to the game is gonna be over before they're able to play 7 spells in the same turn again. So this is just gone. You're a musician too, live in LA? Yeah, I live in LA as well. You record your own drumline when someone makes a dad joke? No. No, I didn't. So early 2000s, an Irish diplomat is asking local folk people which Irish musical instruments are popular in Russia. Sessionist goes, well, there's a decent tin whistle scene. The diplomat goes, okay, anything else? The sessionist goes, well, there's the bodhran, and the diplomat interjects, I said musical instrument. True story. Sounds like a great story. I'm not missing anything, right? Like, this is the worst attack of all time. Zero cards in hand, only 1 mana. They can't cycle into anything. Yep. This is just not a good attack. The thing is, at that point, why don't you just scoop it up? Like, clearly you have given up on the game, so... Why not just scoop it up and we both move to the next one? Seems weird to me when people do that. This has been the worst trade in this game's history, kind of, right? It wasn't a good trade for opponents. Just checking you don't script through blocks. Yeah, I guess that was my opponent's out, that I somehow misclicked, so they were playing to that. They were playing to me misclicking. What's up, Zero Plus? Yeah, it's been a minute. How have you been? Bailoff, let's go. All of those cards seem exciting to me. Ghost Squatter can go. Florahedron can go. Raminap can go. Primetime seems like I can shave 1. Stevie's okay. We can cut Explore. We can cut one more thing. I think they're gonna lean on Blood Moon for games 2 and 3, so I don't want to cut Apparitions. But I guess I should, right? Shave 1 Apparition, because I'd rather have like Purges and Winds of Abandon. Can't keep this. Trying to wear you out. Little do they know who plays 3 Licks at the Yep. We could Reclaimer on 1 here, but like this hand really needs white mana to function, so this is not about the turn 1 Reclaimer, this is about the turn 2 Purge, so probably gonna ship this. Yeah, this hand is probably better. How wildly crazy is it to bottom the Reclaimer with this hand? This is effectively a gain 3. So maybe I just bottom the Sanctuary. But this is my path to turn 3 Titan. I think this is crazy, but I think I'm actually going to bottom the Reclaimer, even though we do have... If we had an untapped green source here, I would obviously not bottom the Reclaimer. But because our green source is actually a tapped one, and I'm going to basically 100% of the time I'm going to be playing Steve on turn 2. Okay, so they have a light up the stage here. Soulscar crash through. Well, rewarded. Can't hold on to this dude, unfortunately. We just have to go for Dryad. Because we don't have another untapped source. But this finds a forest. We play this and this. And we're looking okay. I mean, if they have Moon this turn, it's kind of annoying. Moon on this turn would be pretty annoying. But if they don't have the Moon, then we're gonna be doing all right. Bolt, Dryad and Step. Or Dismember, maybe? Crash Through. Crash Through basically makes their creature unblockable this turn. Yeah. Actually, I think they're gonna Moon me, so I'm gonna block here. If you wanna kill the Dryad, go ahead, but you can't Moon me. Great, yeah, this is perfect. Because now we get to resolve Titan. Is he gonna flash back those darts? They might. I think they're tanking over it. Titan for Bojuka plus field, right? Yep. Well, now that they didn't get back. Now that they didn't Lava Dart me. If they had Lava Darted me, maybe I would have gone for Radiant Fountain instead of Bog. But since they did not, I'm definitely bogging now. Wow, they were F6'd. Pog. Your turn. If I didn't block there, I was actually dead, yeah. That was game 2. We're 3-1. If I didn't block there, I was dead, yeah. Turns out that I was. So good thing that I did block. Good thing that I did block. We arrived at that conclusion through a different way, but we were rewarded. Oh, what did we lose to? Eldrazi Tron. I think I keep this. Interaction, ramp. Funny how my E-Tron opponents had significantly better draws. They had better Tron draws than my Tron opponents, which is funny when that happens. Usually when Eldrazi Tron beats this deck is when they play like a Mono Green Tron. Like we lost to turn 3 Karn into Liquid Metal Coating, right? That's what we lose to. Oh, humans. Humans. We did a lieutenant trick. Okay. I think we don't crack here. There's nothing that we could draw that we would be cracking there. So we cycle here. We can find Reclaimer. Second Titan. Play this. Okay, so I guess they don't know the lieutenant trick. What's the trick? Glad you asked. So with Thalia's Lieutenant, right, it has a trigger when it enters the battlefield, and it also has a trigger when a human enters the battlefield. So what you want to do is you want to pay 2 mana, you play your Lieutenant, you put the, when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 on each other creature you control trigger on the stack. And with that trigger on the stack, you violate another human. So when you do that, now this Thalia's Lieutenant is going to get the counter from the human that you violed in, and the other human is also going to get the counter from the Thalia's Lieutenant trigger. So my opponent basically wasted a counter. I think I'm going to get a basic forest here, even though we already have another forest in hand. The reason for this is if we draw exactly Castle. This is bad if we find exactly Apparition here. He didn't have 2-drops. That's great news for us. No Meddling Mage, no Freebooter to take our Path to Exile from our hand. Reflector Mage. Oh no. They have their Vial on 3, so they actually cannot Vial any Meddling Mage, so I think it's good to save some life here. And they also don't have Mantis Rider. I could have played the fetch land, but I would have needed to fetch and shock, so I think I'd rather save the 3 life for now. Because I would have needed to get exactly Temple Garden there. So we're definitely getting field, and I guess Blast Zone, we're 19, so we're a healthy enough life total. We don't need that many Sumbos to stabilize here. Critter can kill Titan next turn with a sack, maybe. No, I don't care so much about that because I already have the prime time, and if they're willing to sacrifice 2 humans to kill this, that's fine with me. Like if they want to, I'm just gonna kill them with Reclaimer and Field, right? So I kind of actively want the Kudra to be sacrificed, and Lieutenant eventually is gonna be a lot tougher to kill than the Kudra. Maybe I'm playing some mind games here that I shouldn't be playing, but I don't think I don't think I really care about killing this Kudra. If this is Reflector Mage, they are making a huge mistake here. Wait, what? Well, now I'm very confused. Why didn't they swing for 4 for free last turn? I doubt they just forgot it has haste. Like that's like that's like the most appealing thing about the card. I really doubt that they just forgot. Maybe they thought I had Path and played around it. Seems very bad to me. Still feels like not a great line. I mean, they played correctly here. They could have Reflector Mage on my instead, but that means that I just get to play the Titan on my next turn, so they basically kind of time walked me here a little bit. They have 3 cards in hand and they're missing land drop, so they still have cards in hand. We can call for Dryad. The problem with that is it doesn't do too much. We don't have enough white sources to call for... I mean, we can fetch and shock, but I'm not excited about that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we can put 1 counter on this. Yeah, call for operation is what I was thinking of, and just kill the Mantis Rider. We're taking 3 to do this, but... Alternatively, we could have just upticked Zone to 3. Yeah, that might have been better. Yeah, I regret this line now. We could have just like spent the turn, uptick Blast Zone to 3. It's not that likely for us to die. This plays around what's his name better? Around Phantasmal Image, because my opponent cannot just Phantasmal Image the Mantis Rider. They can Phantasmal Image the Reflector Mage, bounce the Reclaimer. That's not that big of a deal. And they can't really Phantasmal Image. They can Mage for Titan, because we can put a counter here. So 1, 2, 3, crack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So any land would have allowed us to cast Titan. You just have Apparition. Apparition my Apparition instead of my Reclaimer. You need to have an answer to this, buddy. You need to kill this one. Maybe Reflector Mage? Reflector Mage would be a better answer, that's for sure. Blast on a lot more, doesn't cost you resources, only life point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure it was correct for me to uptick Blast on instead of going the Apparition route. Block and block and block and block. Because even going for the Apparition forced me to crack this and shock. So place around end step Mantis Rider. Wow, crazy. Next level place. They know about Titan, so also we got to untap with Reclaimer. We need a new Reclaimer remote. No Respect or something like that. This doesn't do it. I mean, no, that's basically like no respect for Reclaimer. It's just like, ugh, no respect for Reclaimer. So let's do Field plus Vesuva here. It's a reasonable amount of zombies. Humans versus zombies. Yeah. Historically speaking, when talking about humans versus zombies, you know, zombies with their ability to, you know, like eat human brains and stuff. The zombies have won against the humans. These are some powerful humans for sure, but the zombie apocalypse will get you. Wins. Dismember. Knight of Autumn. Maybe Baloth, but big maybe. I'm not even... Yeah, I actually don't like Baloth better than any other card. The one thing that gets them back in is the one that exiles all creatures the same name. Yeah, Detention. Deputy of Detention. It's not a human. I think it's a Vidalcan. I think that since the printing of Apparition, that card just doesn't see play anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that I have not seen that card in a while. Sand is a little bit too slow against humans. If they have a reasonable opener, we're gonna lose. This one is also pretty bad. Let's go to 5. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna keep this. We're gonna bottom the Titan and the land. This gives us the most options. And we have Splinter Twin. And this means that they... Oh. Yeah, my opponent is just not very familiar with the matchup. They could have Dismember. Dismember would be pretty good, obviously. How many apparitions is humans playing? I don't know. Can look up a list real quick. They drew both of their basics. Feels bad, man. So they are playing... Three apparitions in the sideboard, 2 Plague Engineer. But my opponent was playing 1 apparition in the main deck. Oh, they do have 1 deputy. Some lists do have exactly 1 deputy. That's it. And they have Magus of the Moon in the sideboard, but I don't think that's particularly impactful against us. Why would they want to bring in ready? I have no idea. They just don't want my Reclaimer to get buffed. I mean, that's not how Reclaimer wins, opponent. Reclaimer wins by doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So next turn we can Titan. I am very confused. I am very, very confused. Melee Mage resolves. Yeah, their sideboarding is all over the place. So I think we just let this resolve. Because what I mean, I already have the Dryad in hand, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go and get another Flagstones. And then I'm going to untap and I'm gonna play Dryad and I'm gonna kill them. I mean, I'm just gonna kill their board, not them, but their board is not gonna exist anymore. What we can do here is we can call for Florahedron. Yep, got my land. Yeah, my opponent seems to be new to the deck. Maybe new to Modern. They have made some plays that could be considered not great. Yeah, just Florahedron here. So suck here, get planes. Get a Valakut. Nice board state opponent. Play this. Kill that one. Play this one. Kill that one. Your go. Just about to ask if you ever called for Florahedron right as you did low. Guess it's decent. Yeah, it was pretty solid there, right? Like it was just like a pretty powerful tempo play. And we didn't have mana for something like Steve. We didn't have mana for anything like that, so... Of course, this doesn't matter, right? Because we... Like, if they... We have the path to answer the meddling mage, so... Opponent seems like they want to continue playing. Well, they were using their mana every turn, so that's why they haven't popped Relic just yet. Well, have they? No, they went turn 1 Relic, turn 2 go. So yeah, we are definitely in garbage time. We've been in garbage time for 2 turns, maybe 1 or 2 turns. Honestly, we kind of have been... We were ahead since my opponent spent turn 1 to play a Relic, and instead of playing a Relic, we were playing turn 1 Reclaimer into Flagstones. My opponent's living their best life over there. It's possible. It's possible that my opponent is not keen to this very powerful rule in the game of Magic the Gathering that has number 104.3a. So what this rule says... No, that's not it. Rule 104.3a. There we go. What this rule says is that a player may concede the game at any time. A player who concedes the game leaves the game immediately, and that player loses the game. Okay, so my opponent finally decided to concede the game, and they left the game immediately, and they lost the game. Another day, another 4-1, huh? That's just... I sometimes wonder if I chose the 4-1 life or if the 4-1 life chose me. I guess I will never know. Any 5-0s? Not in Modern, but yes in Legacy. I 5-0'd with Green White Lockerman in Legacy yesterday. If you're a patron, you're gonna be able to see all about it. You're gonna be able to see all about it. For One Forever is still nice. I think we have enough QPs to play both events. Yeah, we do have enough QPs to play both Legacy and Modern. So that's nice. You chose the 4-1 life. When you sub to Spike, it's contagious. It's possible. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a fine life. It's a fine life, but... Alright. That's gonna be it for this league. Thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.